let's go. Do you ever get the feeling that everything's out of control? If so, I know what you mean, and this feeling is totally okay. Since life began, there have always been parts that seem out of control. But the good news is, we have the ability to cope with more than we think. Hi, I'm Jazz, and welcome to Feeling It, the show where we work our way through, well, feelings. Today we're going to look at how we can work with that out of control feeling, which is known in the business as uncertainty. If you're human, which you probably are, chances are you love certainty. We're wired to. To the basic part of our lizard brains, knowing what's going to happen, where we're going to get our next meal, where we'll sleep, means safety in the wild. Today, of course, uncertainties can be a little more complicated with things like friendships, climate change, and working out which subjects to take. When these occur against a backdrop of big events like a pandemic and bushfires, things can pile up. It may feel like we have so many questions and not a lot of answers, so we start to worry.
At the moment, I'm worried about my upcoming tests.
I've got exams next week. Big week for me.
I'm currently worried about going into year 10. Everything's very different.
How I'm going to be able to organise my time.
Exams, tests, homework, also like my friends, whether they're okay.
Now, if you think I'm going to say don't worry, I'm not. Because worrying is actually pretty important. Back to the lizard brain. Worrying can be our brain taking care of us. In the wild, if we worried about where our next meal is coming from, we might go out and find one. Today, if we worry about an upcoming assignment, we might start doing it. Worrying makes us proactive, but too much of it can make us spiral and we might start feeling anxious and worried all the time. Luckily, I got you. Introducing Worry Time. Worry Time is a way to help us cope with uncertainty by putting aside 15 to 20 minutes each day to deal with our worries. It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but the idea is that throughout the day, as worries pop up, we don't let them distract us, but reassure ourselves that we'll get to these thoughts later. And then we put aside a limited amount of time to give them our full attention. This means that they don't pile up and cause a spiral. And by giving them attention at a specific time, they might start to fade into the background. The trick is to make your worry time work for you. Some people like to use theirs to reflect on the news and catch up on what's going on. Others like to put aside the time with a friend or family member to talk about their worries together. You could also draw them, write a plan of action, or simply observe them through meditation. The takeaway here is that while there are so many things that may seem out of control, we are always in charge of how we respond to them. It's your worry time, so choose your own adventure. But one suggestion is to set a timer for the end.
In my worry time, I like to go outside and listen to music.
Number one thing I like to do is talk with my dog Maisie. I guess that kind of helps just release everything from me.
I usually like to write my worries in a journal.
Put some music on, zone out of everything around me.
Do some arts and crafts. Sometimes writing is really good for me.
If the worries are overwhelming you and you find yourself worrying all the time, speak to a trusted adult like a parent or a teacher. If that's not an option for you, these are some places that are here to help. Worry wisely, and I'll see you next time.